Welcome to TV Free Baltimore's Books and Authors.
I'm the author of the book From Broadway to the Bowery. It's a book about the dead-end kids, East Side kids, little tough guys, and the Bowery boys. They did 92 movies over a period of 23 years, and I wrote reviews and critical reviews of each and every movie, history of the whole evolution, how it went from dead-end kids to little tough guys to East Side kids and Bowery boys. And it also includes biographies, short biographies of all the major characters. And it has over 200 pictures.
That's nice.
And the hardback came out in 2006, and the paperback came out in 2010.
Now, did it all start with the movie Dead End?
It actually started with a play, Dead End.
Play Dead End.
Sidney Kingsley wrote the play. And it was on Broadway for 2 years, 1934 to 1936. And then it traveled to Boston and Philadelphia and San Francisco and also Washington, D.C. It actually played in the White House.
Wow.
And Eleanor Roosevelt loved the play. It was a social drama and encouraged her to push the passing of the Wagner Act, which called for depressed areas to be safe and clean. So it had some social, political connotation or meanings or influence.
I remember the movie.
So the movie was made in 1937. Samuel Goldwyn were looking for kids to play the role of the dead-end kids, and they searched around Hollywood for actors to play those roles, but they couldn't find any. So they brought the same kids who did the play. Leo Gorcey, Hans Hall, Gabe Dell, Billy Hallop, Bobby Jordan, Bernard Punsley. They all went to Hollywood, and they made the film version of Dead End with Humphrey Bogart and Sylvia Sidney. Leo Gorcey's brother, David Gorcey, who's younger, he actually had a role in Dead End, in the play Dead End. And Leo Gorcey had really no interest in becoming an actor. He wanted to be a plumber like his uncle. But so one day he had screwed up a plumbing job and decided to go down and see his brother and see how his brother was doing. And turned out that at that moment there was the kid who was supposed to play with David Gorcey. He was sick, but they were rehearsing that part. So I said, Leo, why don't you take his place for a little while? And so he did. And the directors they were impressed with him. So he ended up hiring him, and then he was the understudy for the role of Spit, and he ended up getting the role of Spit. So when you see the play. Well, you see them. That was actually the play I'm talking about. That was the play I was talking about. That was the movie. No, that was the play. That's how he got his start in the play, Dead End. So he was in the play Dead End, and of course he was in the movie Dead End as well. So they all had. It's not really true that they were just gathered up as street kids. They had some background. Yeah, they had some film background. Yeah.
Now, what attracted you to write a book about this group of players?
Well, I was 9, 10, 11 years old when I watched them on TV, and I was and as a kid you watch these kids be these tough kids, and you want to be like them. You want to be one of the dead-end kids. You want to be Leo Gorcey. I want to be like that. I want to be a part of that gang. There's a lot of camaraderie, and they get into trouble, and they would fight the bad guys, and they were adult bad guys. Yet they were tough, and they looked they were unintimidated by these adults, and they fought back. And you want to be like them. I want to be tough like them. And also want to have fights with them and beat them. And be successful. So that's how, not just me, but a lot of other kids my age at that time were gravitated towards the Bowery boys, East Side kids. And you want to be a part of a group, and it's a fun group to be with.
Were Leo Gorcey and Hans Hall in every one of those 92 films?
No, they weren't because they were all in the Dead End Kid films.
Dead End Kids.
But then after Dead End Kids, which were mostly Warner Brothers, after that ended, they kind of split up. And Universal Studios did Little Tough Guys with Billy Hallop. And Bill Hallop was the lead there. And Monogram Pictures did East Side Kids. And Leo Gorcey was the lead there. So Leo Gorcey and Billy Haupt never made films with each other after that. But Hunts Hall went back and forth. He did both. Gabe Dell went back and forth. Bobby Jordan went back and forth.
Okay.
All right. So, and then they made those films through the mid '40s or so, and those films ended. And then Leo Gorcey and Hunts Hall got together,
Right.
and they created the Bowery Boys.
Bowery Boys, that's what I remember growing up.
They created the Bowery Boys, and they made 48 Bowery Boys films.
Okay.
And Leo Gorcey actually dropped out. He was not in the last 6. He dropped out because, well, his father had been killed in an auto accident. That's Bernard Gorcey, the guy who played the Louis.
Louis, right.
Right. So he passed away, and it was hard for Leo to work after that. So he stopped making them after Crashing Las Vegas was the last Bowery Boys film that he made. And then they hired Stanley Clements, who was in some of the East Side Kid films. So Stanley Clements took Leo Gorcey's place. And so he and Hunts Hall made a few films because they had to fulfill their last their contract. But once that was over, that was the end of the Bowery Boys.
You're watching Books and Authors on TV Free Baltimore.